Now, in the past hour, Hillary Clinton walked on stage to thunderous applause at the Democratic Women's Leadership Forum in Alexandria, Virginia.
Good morning. It's been quite a week, hasn't it?
Clinton's appearance this morning follows her marathon 11 hours of testimony before the House Benghazi committee, where by all accounts she did extremely well. Here are just some of the headlines this morning from the Washington Post. GOP lands no solid punches while sparring with Clinton over Benghazi. From the Dallas Morning News, Clinton calm under scrutiny in Benghazi hearing. And from the USA Today, Benghazi hearing chaos could help Clinton. And from Slate.com, Hillary Clinton won the Benghazi hearing. Afterwards, committee chairman Trey Gowdy struggled to name something new that was learned.
Some of Jimmy Jordan's questioning. Well, when you say new today, I mean, we knew some of that already. We knew about the emails. In terms of her testimony, I don't know that she testified that much differently today than she has the previous time she's testified. So I'd have to go back and look at the transcript.
And joining me live now, one of the 5 Democrats on the Benghazi committee, Congresswoman Linda Sánchez of California. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure you heard and read some of the headlines today. How would you describe what played out yesterday?
Well, you know, I have to say that I'm disappointed that we couldn't do more to answer some of the questions that family members still have. But essentially, you know, Secretary Clinton has testified before the Senate and the House before. The Republican members of that committee sort of built up this narrative that there's new information and all these new documents. Therefore, there must be something new and exciting and spectacular that would come out of that hearing. And in fact, nothing new really did. I mean, Secretary Clinton testified about everything that they asked her, and these answers we've had for more than 2 years now. Nothing new came out that contradicts any of the 8 previous reports and investigations on the matter.
And you made the point regarding some of the answers that the family members may still want and deserve at this point. To that, it was noted by a number of reporters today that Secretary Clinton actually spent the most time talking about Ambassador Chris Stevens and the other 3 Americans who were killed. Let me play a little of what she said.
I don't care if you sent it by Morse code, carrier pigeon, smoke signals. What is relevant is that he was sending information to the Secretary of State.
No one recommended closing, but you had 2 ambassadors that made several requests. And here's basically what happened to their requests. They were torn up.
Well, that's just not true, Congressman.
Did you ever talk to Ambassador Stevens when all of this was going on in the hotbed of Libya? Well, that is a yes or no question, Madam Secretary. I'm sorry. Yes or no, please.
Yes, I believe I did.
We have no record that you had any conversations with the ambassador after you swore him in and before he died, and you were his boss.
I was the boss of ambassadors in 270 countries. I would imagine I've thought more about what happened than all of you put together. I've lost more sleep than all of you put together. I have been racking my brain about what more could have been done or should have been done.
Congresswoman, as you saw there, that was some of the lines of attacks from Republicans on the committee. I know that some House Democrats have signaled that they may quit the Benghazi committee. Where do you stand now that we've had this incredible and what actually Chelsea Clinton predicted would be a remarkable testimony from her mother?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because certainly if Democrats had not been in the room yesterday, Republicans would have just run roughshod over Secretary Clinton, badgering her, keeping her there for more than 10 hours testifying, and asking the same questions over and over again. So, you know, I do think that there is value in having Democrats there to defend the truth. Republicans try to paint these narratives that simply are not supported by the facts. Yes, yes, Ambassador Stevens made security requests. He made them within the Security Department of the State Department, the folks in charge of making those decisions, and there were numerous safety features that were enhanced at the outpost. Did Secretary Clinton make every personal decision regarding the security measures at every facility that the State Department has control over around the globe? No, but that wasn't her job. Ultimately, she accepted responsibility for what happened, but, you know, it's not good enough for Republicans. They are trying to paint her as having dereliction of duty or done something nefarious. And in fact, all of the testimony yesterday that she provided showed how much she cared, how hard she worked, how saving American lives was utmost in her mind, how frantic she was when she received information about the attack, and what she did post Benghazi attack to try to improve security around the globe so that our State Department folks wouldn't be in that kind of danger.
But Congresswoman, as you know, there are Republicans who say yesterday, yes, the GOP may have failed in many ways, but without this investigation, without the committee, we would not have known about the private email server. You still have the FBI investigation. Where do you see this going now?
The private email server is a wild goose chase. And again, you know, Kevin McCarthy, House leadership for the Republican, admitted the purpose of the Benghazi committee was to drive down Hillary Clinton's poll numbers. They've spent $5 million talking about her email, but what they don't tell you is that the emails that were acquired from her have any material information that changes any of the outcomes of the 8 previous reports that have already been generated about the Benghazi matter. Nothing new has come out of those emails. So yeah, okay, there's this issue with the email server, but you know, it hasn't produced any information or any relevant evidence that changes what the 8 prior reports said, which was that there was an attack that was unexpected, that the folks that responded did so to the best of their ability, and many of them heroically, and that there was a tragedy in that 4 Americans lost their lives, but there was nobody who, you know, gave stand-down orders or did anything to thwart attempts to save our personnel there, and yet they continue this narrative. And I think, you know, Secretary Clinton did a great job in pushing back the lies and the half-truths that have been generated about this whole incident.
Congresswoman Linda Sánchez, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it.